Let's try one more today. I want to talk about whetstones and other mediums and where we're going with Wicked Edge and with the 1x6 stones, with what I'm trying to do, what Michael Fuller's doing, what Duggar's doing. Wicked Edge stones are cut to a proprietary size. They're 5.5 inches by 3/4 or 20 millimeter, and they're mounted on backing plates, and then they are affixed to Wicked Edge handles. This is a Wicked Edge blank handle, and then they fit right into the plate holder on the paddle. Here's a blank one. Then they fit right into there with, usually we use 3M VHB double-sided foam tape. The point I'm trying to make is if you are interested, if you are a do-it-yourselfer, you can go to one of the sharpening stone sites like Sharpening Supply or Lee Valley or Chef Knives to Go. Anybody that sells Amazon, anybody that sells whetstones. If you see a whetstone you want to mess with, if you are so inclined to use a wet saw, a tile wet saw, and you're capable of doing it, you can cut those stones to the right dimensions, back them, and mount them on plates. For years, that's what I did. I didn't do them myself, but I found people that were capable of doing it, and I commissioned them to make custom whetstone sets for me. I have a variety of whetstones here in this rack, and they range from Shapton glass stones, 120 to 3,000, Nanawa Chaucera Pro stones, 400 to 10,000. I have Nanawa S2 Advanced Super Stones, 220 up to 12,000. Nanawa Chaucera Original Stones. Those I have 400 grids all the way to 5,000. Then I have, these are all splash and go stones. You just spritz them with water and you use them that way. Whetstones do need to be maintained and flattened. That's called lapping. That's another issue for another day. In the splash and go, I also have Suhira Debato SNE, 320 to 6,000 grit. Then I have soak stones. That's whetstones that need to be submerged in water to absorb water into them like a sponge. And then while you're using them, you also spritz them. In the soak stones, I have a Nubatama Platinum Stone set, 220 up to 6,000. I have Suhira Gokumyo. Just 3 different grits there, 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000. Then I have Suhira Okha, O-U-K-A, 3,000 grit. Suhira Rika in a 5,000 grit, and then an Oto, A-O-T-O natural stone, the only natural stone I have, and that's rated from 2,000 to 3,000 grit. Then another soak stone is a Yoshihira Toishi. I have 400 through 6,000 grit, and then I have a stone made by Nanawa called the Hibiki, that originally they had marketed it for very hard steels, and now I understand it's for tool steels like chisels and planers, hand planer steel. It's a softer steel, so I have to experiment with the Nanawa Hibiki. The point I'm trying to make, if you look at these stones, go to the Guided Sharpening Facebook group. Tom Blodgett just produced from Gendi. He showed his warehouse with all his 1x6 stones. 1x6 stones are on a larger plate with the pointed ends, and those stones are held in a handle made for Edge Pro or TS Prof or Gendy's Jig or TS Professional or Acme, all those, they use this. Years ago, 5-6 years ago, when the first diamond resin matrix stones were introduced, these are Edge Pro brand. I took the 1x6, the diamond plates, I bought them from Edge Pro, and I cut the points off and I backed them and mounted them on Wicked Edge paddles. So I made a Wicked Edge custom handle set that is 1x6. The thing that I'm doing that I'm not sure that others that are looking to use their 1x6 stones with Wicked Edge. See, there's a migration back and forth all the time between knife sharpeners to find which sharpener they like best. Some come from the 1x6 format and gravitate to Wicked Edge, and they have all these stones with the 1x6, but they're all in single grits because they only worked one side at a time. For Wicked Edge, because you work both sides simultaneously, alternatingly, then you need to make double handles. It becomes very expensive, especially when you start talking about the diamond matrix stones, 80 through 4,000. So they get pretty expensive when you're making double handles. So what I have looked to do, because I have exhausted with the custom stones that I have made, I haven't been able to find anybody else that will make custom stones for me. So I am having conversations with Tom Blodgett, trying to create this easy transition for Wicked Edge users to use these 1x6 stones. Now there are some 1x6 stone holder handles that we're going to discuss in a separate video, but right now I just want to talk about the 1x6s. The 1x6s are, like I said, from the other sharpeners, and there's a lot of you that have come to Wicked Edge as a second sharpener, and you have those stones and you're wanting to get a handle to let you use those. But what I'm afraid is happening is that you're sharpening one side and then putting the stone on the other side, because it is a big investment, especially when you start talking about whetstones and CBN diamond stones and the new resin matrix stones. They get real expensive just in a full set of 1x6. But when you duplicate it for Wicked Edge, it's twice as expensive. So in order to save every pair of stones is a blank pair of handles, that's $25 before you ever start. And then you have to buy the full whetstone and pay somebody, or however you do it, get those stones cut and finished and backed and then affixed. It is a labor-intensive job, a labor of love to do it right, and then to label them and all that. So to simplify it, because there are so many 1x6, not so many, but there is a wide, look at Tom's video. I'll try to post the link. He has almost as many stones variety as I do, but he has them already in 1x6. So for Wicked Edge users, what am I doing? I'm pushing. I'm trying to educate you guys to use the 1x6 stones for Wicked Edge. So what we've created some handles, and like I said, I'm going to discuss the handles later. But the movement is to allow Wicked Edge users to buy the other stones and use them with Wicked Edge if you so choose to. So I'm working with Tom to try to offer some whetstones that aren't available. He's making a set of stones for me. The problem is that I like whetstones that are maybe less popular, and some of the new whetstones don't cut like these. They end up being that you would waste too much. They get too expensive. So we're going to have a bigger whetstone, and the first one that we're trying to work on is a Shapton Rockstar, which is a new Shapton glass stone. I'm waiting to get that from Tom so I can test it out. It is going to be a tall stone. It's going to be one of those Marcotis whetstones like this that you can see the stones are very thick. This is another one that is made very thick. And what happens is they are expensive investment, but the stones will last you a lifetime if you don't fracture them, drop them, and break them. So I'm working with Tom. I'm trying to help Wicked Edge users migrate to the 1x6. It's not an assault on clay. It's just clay doesn't offer the whetstone variety that some of us are looking for. You can do it yourself. Tom is still making Wicked Edge. This is a Chosera original, Chosera Chosera original, whereas now it's Chosera Chocera. It's a different resin, but they are comparable in their abrasiveness. They work well. These are more of a mixed splash and go soak stone, whereas the newer Nanoa professional stones are strictly a spritz stone. You could soak them if you want to, but it's not necessary. These, I think, work a little better if you start with the soak, the original Chosera stones. But like I said, when you start buying and cutting stones and mounting them on paired handles, the sets get very expensive. And then you have a big storage issue when you start having full sets. Like I said, some of my grit sets are 5 or 6 or 7 different grits in pairs. So then the handles get expensive and the storage factor. So the thought process is if we can go with the 1x6, then you only need a pair of handles and you can have a box for your stones. And then you guys that are dual sharpeners, you will be able to use stones both for Wicked Edge and for your 1x6 format sharpeners. So that's what the push is for the 1x6 stones, is for availability. It's not because there's more stones, well, that probably an easy way to say it. There's more stones already cut and mounted in the 1x6. There's less available in the Wicked Edge because the proprietary size of the Wicked Edge, it's for Wicked Edge specifically. So the market share is a much smaller market share. So that's why I'm looking to adapt Wicked Edge users, make them available to Wicked Edge users and a wide variety of whetstones to give you the ability to expand your sharpening. So now you'll be able to use your 1x6s or 1x6s with Wicked Edge if you choose to. You can have custom made stones, or you can go with the 1x6 handles and cross over, work them in pairs if you choose. I'm not going to talk about the money situation. If you have to go with single, I understand, but pairs is how I like to work. So I'm going to do another video on the 1x6 handles, and we'll go from there. Thanks.